Yeah, so like obviously I was in America the other day, and nah, forget that. I think I was at home. No, I was at home, and then I heard, yeah. My boy came round. He's like, oh, listen to MGK. He hates Eminem. He's not a fan. He's like, oh, MGK killed him. He killed him. He killed him. He killed him. And then I listened to it, and I was on a hype after hearing Rap Devil. I was on a hype. I never heard this kid before, so the fact that I was seeing someone going up against Eminem for the first time like that, I was like, whoa, maybe. I think I did that thing. You know, people get gas, people get on a wave because this is something new, it's something different. Everyone's like, oh, Eminem's feathers are ruffled, like he's killed him, he's murdered him. And then I heard Kill Shot, and I just kind of sat back down and kind of like embarrassingly just thought to myself, why was I carrying on the way I was carrying on?
Why are you on this
Why,
hype? Why are you on this
why am I
hype?
on this hype? Why am I on this train?
I think
Like,
that the internet's reaction to the whole thing made me crack up because
they lost their minds.
everyone was being.
I lost my mind.
Everyone was being like rap, but everyone being with Rap Devil. Yeah, it was so funny because they were like, yeah. Like, look at MGK, like Eminem shook
Dead.
or whatever.
Eminem's
and
dead.
as soon as Kill Shot came out, those same people were like, MGK, he got destroyed. He's dead. Like, his career's over. And I'm thinking,
Thrown away their MGK
how are you
albums.
going to be
like...
the same people being like, oh, he's the guy to fuck over Eminem, and then 2 days later being like, actually, Eminem fucked him over? Like, listen, guys, like, calm yourselves. The internet is just crazy. The internet, and I love the way the internet's always like, it can never be calm.
No.
And be like, I think Eminem, the Eminem beat MGK. It always has to be like, he destroyed him. His career's dead. He's probably gonna jump off a bridge.
The internet is the ultimate hype, man. The internet. Remember back in the day in school where kids were getting into a fight and he goes, "He cussed your mum." Oh.
Yeah, he is literally the
internet
hype
is the
man.
ultimate hype man.
He's the guy who everyone should be looking to actually beef with because he's the one who's instigating.
Yeah.
Shit.
When actual fact, if you actually sit down and you look at the lyrics and go like, hold on, what's actually being said here, you'd realise that MGK didn't really have much to kind of go on in terms of content and when it came to fucking like dissing Eminem. I mean, if you want to look at it...
No, he didn't have much ammunition.
No, because I mean, if you look at it in chronological order here, the whole thing kind of stemmed from the fact that he wrote a tweet about Eminem's daughter. And let me just get into that real quick. I don't know about you, I think it's weak. I mean, like, I think it's weak. I just think, it wasn't even derogatory or like perverted or rude or offensive. It was quite polite and quite like acknowledgeable that this little girl that we all knew is Hailey, Eminem's daughter, has grown into this gorgeous, young, beautiful woman. And it's like, he basically just said that and was like, yeah, she's fucking hot now. But no respect to the big man, like, big up, you're still the king and shit like that. Still paying homage to this, like, this rap god. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was so weird because I feel like Eminem's a disconnected guy from reality.
What do you mean? I think I know what you mean. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, because, let's keep it real. I've seen comments with the Hailey thing, about people being like, how they would, like, in a few years' time, they would want to run a train on Hailey and all of this, like, really disrespectful shit.
Yeah.
That, like, if Eminem was to see it, it would be like, that would piss him off, right?
Yeah.
Understandably, it would piss you off seeing shit like that by
Yeah.
your daughter. But he instead of that, he seems oblivious to all that shit. And, this Machine Gun Kelly guy, I mean, he said she was a beautiful woman, but no disrespect, you're still the great. Oh my God, like, I've got to hold this grudge for 6 years now. I don't know. It was it was for me.
And fuck up a man's career. And fuck up a man's career because apparently, ever since then, I don't know if you know or people are listening. Obviously, they're under the same record label, Interscope. So like, they are in the same building retrospectively. So Eminem was apparently not putting up blockers and stuff in terms of his career path and where MGK was going. Like, suddenly he couldn't go there, he couldn't go there, couldn't go on this talk show. Like, things were just getting shut down for him, left, right, centre and shit. And I just feel like that's a bit weak, man, coming from a little tweet that someone said about 6 years ago. And the fact that you couldn't even go to the guy man to man, because he said it on the Breakfast Club as well. He said like, oh, you can't see Eminem, you can't you can't get to him. No one knows where the guy is because he's always with people. He's never around. He doesn't answer his phone. Blah blah blah. All this, and I just feel like, can't you meet? For me, if someone says something like that to me, not even to me, just out there in public, I'd be like, listen, in this industry, you can't be saying things like that because people you'll get taken and perceived in the wrong way. Like, take the fucking shit down, man. I think it's a bit disrespectful. And then an apology would be there, and they'd be like, cool, bros, drink, whatever, come, move on. Do you know what I mean? Not hold this grudge for 6 fucking years to then release an album to like diss all these people, MGK being one of them on them. So, that shit. Miss me with all that shit, man.
Yeah, the reason the beef started was all weak to me. But I'm glad the beef happened because that was an entertaining beef, to be fair. So, out of Eminem's pettiness, we have got an interesting little thing going here. So, what's your thoughts about Rap Devil in general? Because going on what you were saying earlier, I felt like MGK hit Eminem in the wrong places and it backfired on him. Because you mentioned like the Breakfast Club interview and how Machine Gun Kelly was like, this guy, I can only get through to management. I can't get through to Eminem. If he had mentioned that on his diss, it would have made Eminem look like a cowardly guy. Like he can't have a conversation. He has to do everything
behind
through
walls
management.
and shit.
But instead, he kind of just moans about it, and it's like, you're not letting me have a career. Which makes him that makes Machine Gun Kelly look like a bitch rather than Eminem. Yeah. But if he had come with what he was saying on the Breakfast Club to Eminem, I think it would have hit a lot more powerfully, personally.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I second that one because, like, you want to look in a diss track. You want to look as big as possible. You want to look hard. You want to look like you're about it. Whereas I feel like all he did was moan and go, like, you're stopping me. You're above me, and you're looking down upon me, and everyone else is below you. And then at the same time, at the same time, complimenting him, going, you're all right, you're a god, you're my idol, we looked up to you, of course, everyone knows your fucking name, you're the best around. Doing an eye roll when he was doing it, so kind of like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever. But still, it was kind of paying homage to him.
He's still calling him the best.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, is this a fight? Is this a diss? Or is this a you, like, bigging him up? Is this like a award for him? I don't know, man. I just thought it was a bit weak. But no, I agree with you. Maybe if his tactics were a bit off, I feel like if he did come at him with the you're a little boy, you're a little bitch boy for fucking not even coming to me about this tweet about your girl, which I said 6 years ago. We can never find you, get around to see you. You're never about You're always with people, hiding with people. You still think you're this and that and the other. I feel like that would have hit home a bit more than just fucking moaning about how good he is and how like he's looking down on everyone. I feel like it was, I don't know.
Because I felt like the strongest thing that Machine Gun Kelly did in that diss was be like, Eminem, why are you still so angry when you've got all of this money, all of this fame? It makes no sense. If you would combine that with saying, we can never get hold of you, you're too cowardly to come and speak man to man, it would make Eminem look like a really emotional guy who was quite erratic. But instead, because he didn't use that, instead the angry thing that he was talking about looked like more of an observation than anything else. It didn't come across as like a strong diss. But if you had put that with what he was saying on the Breakfast Club, that could have been quite an effective diss, I think. I'm not saying it would have been like a killing blow or whatever, but I do think it would have been a punch which would have had a bit more weight to it than what he was saying beforehand. But just in the track alone, why I rated Rap Devil was lyrically, Machine Gun Kelly was like the way he said what he was saying. Although what he was saying was weak to me, the way he said it was really strong.
His delivery was on point. I'll give him that. It was on point.
It was really on point, and I think if he gained anything out of this beef, it was showing that look, I can spit. I can really spit, and not only that, I can spit with like a really really hard beat as well. Definitely. So I think in terms of showing off his skills, he did a fantastic job. The only problem was as a diss in terms of like actually hurting his opponent. it was quite weak. Very, very good song, not a very effective diss track, maybe. And I think that's why I got so hyped to start with, because I was listening to the song being like, this is a hype. And then in my head, I misconstrued that and was like, that means it's an effective diss song, which it kind of wasn't when you kind of step back and look at it more deeply and analyze it. Yeah.
The Eminem.
What would you say about it then?
What about Rap Devil?
No, yeah, like how would you say it is in terms of? Would you agree with me that it's like a weak diss but a strong song?
Yeah. Because I mean, I think I got a bit confused. I think I just saw it, like I said, like a lot of people did, saw it, got gassed, and was like, "Oh, this is Eminem's dead." Like, I was okay. I won't over exaggerate my hype. My hype was always like, I'll wait for my boy to reply. That's what my hype was like. I'll wait for my boy to reply. I see what he's saying, but I wouldn't be surprised if that hurt him. That's what I was thinking. But then when I look back at the lyrics and proper analysed it, I thought to myself, what did MGK actually say to him? And I looked at the lyrics and I was thinking to myself, there's not a lot apart from him knocking his age, his height, his beard, the fact that he's named after a sweetie, which he isn't named after a sweetie. If you actually look at it, his name is Marshall Mathers. And I knew this before I even fucking looked this shit up. I knew this about fucking 10 years ago. That the fact that he called himself Eminem was because his first initial and his last initial both began with M. So M&M, it's a play on words. Not the fact it's not the fact that fucking sweetie. I mean, a 16-year-old can work that one out. Then I'm sure a 28-year-old can as well. So it's like, come on, MGK, man, a bit better than that. Be a bit better than that. That's what I thought. But his deliverance.
Because I know you like Eminem, but you're not a fan of him.
I'm not a fanboy. I'm not a fanboy. Like, I like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah. You like him, but you're not like a huge. You're not a huge like, I have to listen to every new Eminem song.
No.
You're just kind of like, if he releases a song I like, I'll listen to it. But you're not. I'd say he's not on your radar as much as other artists are anyway. So you worked it out without being. You're not a stan.
No.
You know what I mean? You're not a stan. So.
I mean, I think like you, like the old Eminem. Obviously, that goes without saying. I think everyone does just like miss the old Eminem, and I feel like we were all waiting for Killshot as a sort of nostalgic kind of, remembrance
for the old Savage
Eminem,
the old warrior to return.
Fucking that guy, man, he was fucking ruthless back in the day. But
and Killshot kind of bring that to the table for me. It really did. It really did. I was like, gee, it was like, it kind of, what was mad for me, and I'm sure you probably felt the same way, was Eminem. I forgot how savage he could actually be. But I knew in the back of my head, this guy's savage, but it kind of reaffirmed it for me. I was like, shit, I forgot how like mad Eminem could actually be.
Do you reckon you'll see more of that?
I hope so. The way he was going out on the album against mumble rappers and shit, I loved it. I was like so happy when he was calling out I think it's the song with Joyner Lucas, Lucky You. That's one of my favourite songs of the year. I think it's just fantastic, and it shows off
of the year.
Eminem's lyrical skill, and he's not holding back at all. If you haven't seen it yet, watch the video as well, because the video is funny as fuck.
Cool.
Because it's basically dissing all these people following trends and shit. But like let's talk a bit more about Killshot then. Like, how did you see it? How would you rate it overall?
Yeah, like I said, I heard Rap Devil got gas, calm down, and then when I heard Killshot, at first I was like, meh. I think I'm like that with a lot of shit. I'm like, meh, and then I listened to it again, and I'm like, oh shit. So when I heard it back again, when I played it again, I was like, hold on, like he's actually taking a piss out of him. And it's when he said the Stan thing, I didn't clock. I thought, why is that his name? Is Machine Gun Kelly's name Stan? And I didn't realise Stan is an actual thing, because I know he did the song Stan with Dido and that, but I didn't know that Stan was like an obsessive fan. Like it meant like an overly obsessive fan, like a fanboy. And I was like, oh, he's calling him Stan because he keeps bum licking him and saying how he's his fan, he used to be his idol and shit, but then trying to diss him. When he said, you're trying to compliment me, I'm perplexed, compliment me on the first and diss me on the next and shit like that. I thought he was basically doing what you should do in a diss, which is playing off of everything that the guy said prior to you. So I thought Eminem was playing incredibly tactical with this whole situation. And it made for a better diss track, because when you actually look at, I don't rate the man bun thing. I thought that was a bit dead. I put it in the same box as the fucking beard's weird thing. That's the same box. But everything else, I thought I could be like point, and it was actually disses rather than like going, oh, you're above me, like you're making it difficult for me in my situation. Like I thought MGK was a bit weak. Deliverance was strong, his content was weak, whereas Eminem's deliverance and content was strong. I thought. What about you? What about you?
Yeah, I think the only area where Machine Gun Kelly slightly edged it for me was the beat. That was literally it. That's the only area where I can go, oh, Machine Gun Kelly might have won that small little area, which to me, on a diss track, is probably the least important part.
Yeah.
Your lyricism and the content's the most important part. But
agreed.
Beats kind of just like the icing on the cake, I guess. And I do think in that area, Machine Gun Kelly had Eminem beat. But in terms of lyricism, I think Machine Gun Kelly's lyricism was impressive. I was impressed by it. But Eminem's Eminem, and that lyricism was just insane. And then, like, in terms of the content, it was way, way, way stronger.
Yeah.
Just levels above. What Eminem did for me in kind of like a metaphorical sense was, do you know in boxing, where you have like the counter punches? Yeah. Machine Gun Kelly was throwing out all these jabs, leaving himself open, and then Eminem was just hitting him with like these powerful hooks.
Yeah.
That's literally how it felt like. Like Machine Gun Kelly's hits weren't landing, and he was leaving himself open when he was doing it, and the Eminem was just like, okay, I'm gonna hit you back hard now. I hope you're prepared for it. It was a tough fucking diss track, man, because, and the reason I think, because I had the same thing when I listened to Killshot as well. Initial impressions of Killshot were less than that of Rap Devil, but the reason I think that is Eminem has this thing where he fits so many lyrics into such a short space of time. So a lot of it, I feel like you have to re-listen to it to pick everything up. Eminem is literally one of those people where you want a lyric video to every song he does, so you can kind of like follow it more easily. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just so much stuff that he says in such a short space of time. But when I re-listened to it, I was like you, where I was like, boy, so much stuff where obviously Machine Gun Kelly was saying, you're an old guy, you're kind of over the hill, and Eminem just replies being like, I'm still selling more than you though, and what? I'm 40, yeah, I know I'm in my mid 40s, you're saying I'm past it, but I'm actually still selling more than you, so what does that say about you?
I mean, he said, at your age, I was selling way more than you at your age as well. Which I thought, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like he's got you covered in every area in a sense.
So age is irrelevant. You can put that in the bin now. So like all these things are throwaway now.
Exactly. Like if anything, I've got you beat on the age front. If anything, obviously, even at the start, he kind of, one of the first things he says that I can remember was, do you know, Machine Gun Kelly says in his song, it's quite funny, but again, it was just, it's not a punch that has any weight to it, when he was like, umbrella, Ella, Ella, Ella.
Yeah.
As in to be like, kind of taking the piss out of Eminem and Rihanna's relationship. But realistically, when you step back and think about it, it's like the fact that Eminem's got this relationship with Rihanna, most artists would kill for that. So like, it's not really a bad thing when you step back and think about it. So Eminem like replies by like, "Oh, I called Rihanna last night and I left hickeys on her neck." You know what I mean? It's just being like, look, like what's bad about me having a relationship with Rihanna? That's a good thing. But yeah, the strongest lines for me in Killshot as well, like
He didn't have a relationship with her, did he?
the Puff Daddy stuff.
He didn't have a
Sorry?
relationship with her, did he?
Not that I know of, but he's saying this in a song, but it's Eminem at the
I
end
think
of the
he's.
day,
I think.
so you don't know if he's just making.
Yeah,
a
I
joke.
think.
He's just
Yeah,
making,
yeah,
probably making
yeah.
a
I think.
joke,
I think
yeah.
Machine Gun tried to pyre him, and he was like, "All right, whatever."
Yeah, it's kind of like, wow, I've got a relationship with
Or
Rihanna.
no, I
like,
think more. I think
whatever.
more. He tried it with Rihanna and got parred. That's what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's like a lesser thing anyway. The biggest thing for me was first the age thing and the sales, and then the second biggest thing for me was the Puff Daddy reference, where he was like, "Oh, did you get Puff's permission to shoot your rap devil video?" Because I got to the kind of, I can do what the fuck I like, but you have to get Puff Daddy's permission. That was pretty, because even on the Breakfast Club interview with Machine Gun Kelly, even they weren't trying to diss him, but they were like, "Oh, did you get Puff Daddy's permission?" You could tell he was pissed off. He was like, "What? I didn't need his permission." Do you know what I mean? So you could tell that got to him a bit.
So that was exploited. I felt like Machine Gun Kelly was fighting this corner. He was, and I think he admits on the Breakfast Club where he's put in this corner where he was the underdog here. Like the whole world's now seeing him fight against like this rap guard. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like he came out alright on it. Going back to the kill shot thing quickly. Yeah, Eminem took the piss out of him. If I really deep it, he did actually take the piss out of him. And we're looking at the Diddy thing. He's doing the old school thing they did in 8 Mile, where he's taking things that someone has said to him and sort of like regurgitating it back at his opponent, which worked in his favor more. And Machine Gun Kelly says, "Oh, I heard of this and thought, psh, whack." Do you know what I mean? But I thought to myself, nah, he's just kind of taken everything you said and kind of just like chucked it in the bin really and just thrown it right back at you. So you don't really have much to say, and it's because he hasn't got nothing to say. He's got no content. He's got no fucking ammunition to kind of go up against him. I remember you saying something like a golden bullet thing with 2 artists. Who was it?
Oh, so
Drake and
Drake
and what was his name? It's killing me.
Literally, it's so annoying when this happens, yeah, where you like the name like slips.
You know, you just see his face and he just can't.
Exactly, you see the face, but the name.
Help me out here, man. I'm googling this shit. Pusha T. That was it. Pusha T. So like when Pusha T,
I hate that. I literally said his name like half an hour ago to you as well. It was like, how did I forget his name?
Them ones there, man. Like the Pusha T thing. Pusha T had a golden bullet where it was like, yeah, you fucked a porn star, you've got a kid that nobody knows about. Boom, let's make a whole diss track on that, and the whole world blew up. Whereas Machine Gun Kelly doesn't have much to go off of, and neither does Eminem really, if you think about it. But Machine Gun Kelly said a lot of shit. Eminem took that and basically just went, nah, this is dead. This is why it's dead. This is dead. This is why it's dead. This is dead. This is why it's dead. And then she just went back and forth. Even the P. Diddy thing, and like you said, the Breakfast Club people were like, "Oh, does Diddy know you're here?" And he got a bit upset about that. He did get a bit upset about it. It's a bit like a stubborn little kid, like, "No, my dad doesn't need to know where I am." But you know, when the dad walks in the room, like he sits up straight as a fucking pole, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm coming." Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of them ones. But
yeah, like that naughty kid who is like when the dad comes along, it's like, "I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry."
But yeah, I have a lot of positive things to say about kill shot. Like it I don't think it's a kill shot. Oh, and by the way, I like when he said something about I'm in your scope but you graze me. I thought that was quite cool. But when he said the thing about Swayze, I was like, don't like it, because then again you're fucking saying how like you've got some weird mind control over everyone in Interscope and everyone will do what you say, and like sort of like you're the Pied Piper of that building. And everyone kind of like falls at your knees and does what you want. I'm thinking to myself, that's not how the music industry should work. I don't like the fact it works like that. I don't like the fact Machine Gun Kelly was moaning and crying about it in his diss track. I feel like if you're For me personally, I see Machine Gun Kelly and I like him, and I think, you know what, he's a fantastic artist. I heard him on that Young Man song time ago. Forgot who he was because obviously, like we said, the internet is fucking crowded. So that's why
there's so much do you forget people even when you listen to them and like them. That's the mud. This because this is what I wanted to go into quickly was I feel like in terms of the beef, in terms of who had the better track, Eminem hands down for me.
Yeah.
I don't think he destroyed Machine Gun Kelly, but I just think it was a better track because he just had better disses at the end of the day. That was the main thing. He had better disses. But in terms of what they'll get out of the beef, I think Machine Gun Kelly is going to do a lot better because there's a lot of people like me who knew his name but hadn't really checked for his music, who are really impressed by his lyrical ability and just the fact that he created this very like catchy song. So there's a whole load of people who didn't know about Machine Gun Kelly who I think are now going to pay attention to him and actually be like, oh, that's a new Machine Gun Kelly song. Let me listen to that. Whereas before they would have been like, oh, I don't really know who he is, whatever, and not giving him the chance he deserves. Whereas with Eminem, everyone already knows who this guy is. People know if they like Eminem or if they don't like him. So there's not going to be a whole audience of people out there who are going to suddenly now be checking for him who weren't before. So in that sense, I think Machine Gun Kelly's probably done quite a bit better out of the beef.
Do you want to see more?
I don't think Eminem's been hurt by the beef. I think Eminem's kind of reaffirmed in people's minds how great he is at dissing people. So there's no harm done to him. I just don't think he's gained as much out of it at the end of the day.
Do you think?
Sorry, what
do you
think
say? Machine Gun Kelly? No, I was going to say, do you think Machine Gun Kelly? So you're right in saying. I think what you're saying is he's going to do better now. Like we're going to see more of him. Do you reckon he's going to drop? Do you think he's going to drop a banger? Do you think he's going to like blow up the way a lot of people think he's going to blow up now?
It's a thing. So on the Breakfast Club, I think Machine Gun Kelly in his own right was quite big anyway because I know the name even though I don't know his music.
That song I heard,
Yeah, and like he said in the Breakfast Club interview, he sold 20 million records, which is that's quite a lot of fucking records. So he's already big amongst his base, but he's definitely going to get more mainstream appeal now. I think because hats off to him, he's proved he's a talented artist for a whole group of people who weren't aware of him. So of course that's going to like increase his fan base quite a lot. Whether that will translate into a lot more sales, that's a different matter. Definitely translate to a lot more views on YouTube videos and stuff, but whether he'll gain much more of a hardcore audience, that's a tougher question to answer. But his name will be bigger. His name will definitely be a lot bigger.
And I don't think he should get disheartened by it, because I know he was like moaning about it, because he was like, oh, it's taking a diss track for everyone to realise my talent. And I'm like, nah, but you shouldn't look at it like that, because I just felt, at the end of the day, you're going up against one of the biggest rappers in the game. Like, everyone knows this guy's name. Everybody knows who Eminem is. Everybody. So the fact that you're an artist where, like, you're big, but you're not big to the masses because there's just so many artists out there. And for me, he hasn't got a song that's popped off. Like, let's be honest, he's a better lyricist than fucking Designer, but Panda popped off, Gucci Gang popped off, the whole world fucking knows it. And because it's in your face so much, that's why these artists are known. Now, he hasn't got a song like that, like a banger like that. He has a couple bangers, but not one where like it was overly played, like fucking that Kiki song. Do you know what I mean? But
he's too talented for a Gucci Gang hit,
and he's
not talented enough to be an Eminem.
Yeah,
that's the issue he has.
Yeah,
because if you're shit, and sorry to all the Mumble fans out there, but whatever, this is my opinion. If you're a shit talentless artist like Little Pump, you can create mindless dribble that's catchy like Gucci Gang.
Yeah.
which sticks in. Gucci Gang stuck in my head, and I'm not even a Gucci. I'm not even a. It's a catchy song, but I'm not a fan.
I
of
thought
the
it was
song,
fucking retarded. It was just hype. It was the most retarded hype song I've ever seen. I was so like amazed by it in the wrong way.
And but that's the thing. Like people like Lil Pump are so big because they're so stupid. They can create these simplistic songs that stick in your mind.
Yeah.
Someone like Machine Gun Kelly is too talented to create music like that, but he's not talented enough to create music like Eminem does. So he's kind of stuck with his core audience, but he's not so talented that everyone has to sit up and be like, "We need to listen to this guy. He's so talented. Like he's the next Eminem." I think there's a lot of artists in that kind of position because let's be real, there's only like 0.1% of people out there, musicians out there, who are going to be as talented as someone like Eminem. They're talented, but they're just not that talented. And I think he's one of those people. That's why he showed. That's why he showed in the beef. Look, I'm a talented guy, but he still came up short against Eminem in terms of.
And that's not a bad thing.
I don't think
it's a bad thing. I reckon.
I'm not even talking about. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say quickly. I don't even think it's a fact that he's a shit lyricist. I just don't think he had the ammunition. If I gave him a bag of dirt on Eminem, I reckon he would have went to fucking town on him. Do you know what I mean? And it would have hurt. But I just don't think he had the ammunition. That's all it was.
It would have hurt, but I'm just looking at Killshot and the fact of look how Eminem. Look at the both songs and look how many more disses Eminem could fit into 3 minutes than he could. So that's just something that Eminem and only Eminem can kind of do in a way.
Facts.
Eminem's crazy because Eminem's a counterpuncher even when he's not the one to go first. Because you look at 8 Mile, the final. Do you remember in 8 Mile at the end where he disses himself to the guy and then counterpunches what he says about himself? So he's like, "Yeah, I did grow up in a trailer park. Yeah, my mum is on drugs and all of this. Like my friend is an idiot who shot himself with his gun. But here's something I know about you. You went to private school and both your mum and dad are together and his real name is Clarence."
Shout out Falcon Avengers.
So he can counter punch. He can counter punch himself. It's mad. Like, well, it's literally insane. So that's the thing. I don't know if there's anyone who could really beat Eminem.
No. I wouldn't say there are obviously people out there that can and that will murder Eminem, but it's just they're not the main shit. They're not
just do with ammunition.
They need ammunition and they need to be in the right scene to do that. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to get anywhere near Eminem. Do you know what I mean? And the closest person that's ever really got to him in the last like so many years or so in a rap game situation is someone who's in the same fucking record label as him. Do you know what I mean? Who's actually been dissed by him. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So your verdict then, Killshot wins over Rap Devil then, yeah.
Killshot wins over Rap Devil, but Rap Devil's going to help Machine Gun Kelly more than Killshot's going to help
100%.
Eminem.
Eminem don't need the help anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how much bigger do you want to get at the end?
I don't even think Machine Gun Kelly needs the help. I feel like he's a fantastic artist on his own. He's been doing great.
He didn't need the help. He sold 20 million records.
He's been doing fantastic. But I'm glad that I have seen this because
he could do with the help.
Yeah, more. Because it's switched my eyes on to this artist, and it's going to switch a lot of people's on to this artist, and they're going to be like, let's pay attention to this guy because he was actually fucking sick and didn't actually get bodied by Eminem. He's still carrying on walking, so that's cool.
Exactly.
That's cool. I like that.
Exactly. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed it. Check out the links below. That's where you'll find all our various different social medias. Leave a like, leave a comment, and we'll catch you later. Bye.
See ya.